Thanks for hanging out, everybody. So we are gonna run another one right back here. So this is green-white Lumi, green-white Luminarch Aspirant, or green-white Wessel. This is a list that won challenge a little while back. So this is another green-white Hatebears list. So this one, Noble Hierarch, 4 Luminarch Aspirant, Stoneforge Mystic, Thalia Guardian of Thraben, 4 Once Upon a Time, 4 Outland Liberator, 4 Archon of Emeria, a Thalia Heretic Cathar, Sword of Feast and Famine, Batterskull, Cauldron Complete, 2 Force of Vigors, Chalice of the Void. I have cut 1 Stoneforge Mystic in favor of playing a Ramanap Excavator. Then a sideboard, 4 Containment Priest, 2 Mirroring Crusader, Mindbreak Trap, 2 Force of Vigor, 4 Collector Roof, Graph Digger's Cage, and a Pithing Needle. Very similar concept. This is trying to lock people out of playing the game with Thalia, Archon. I have added a Ramanap because we are a 4 Wasteland plus Strip Mine deck, so we have the ability to just kind of Wasteland lock anybody out of the game randomly. Outland Liberator, for those not familiar, is a card from the most recently released Innistrad set. This is kind of like Kasali Pride Mage, so a 2/2 for 2. You can pay 1 to destroy an artifact or enchantment, but when it flips, it is a 3/3. You can still do that, but whenever it attacks, you also get to destroy an artifact or enchantment. So it's kind of a mix of like Kasali Pride Mage meets Trigon Predator, sort of. Card's wild. And in Vintage, blowing up a bunch of random artifacts is pretty powerful. So then we have, again, Ramanap Excavator for the Wasteland lock. There's a small Stoneforge package with Feast and Famine, Batterskull, Cauldron Complete. Feast and Famine here because you're trying to get out ahead of all of the busted, like, huge artifact mana decks. So if you slap this on, it kind of lets you cheat mana just a little bit, and then Force of Vigor, Chalice the Void, because you can usually just slam this on 0 and it's going to hurt your opponent a lot more than it's going to hurt you, or you can slam it on 1 and shut off a bunch of the dumb restricted like blue cards and whatnot. Force of Vigor, again, just wreck shops, PO, whoever from underneath Thalia. So let's get into it and start this Green-White Lumi League. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. For anybody who somehow is just catching on, I am Adam, a member of Team Switch from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Just finished a league with Bant Archon, and now we're playing a league with Green-White Luminarch Aspirant, Green-White Hatebears, whatever you want to call it. Yes. 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 Mox. Krakens. Janus Thalia. What do we got, opponent? So, again, this is the green-white Luminarch Aspirant or Lumi deck. Opponent didn't seem like they cared too much about that. Oh, Workshop, sure. That would explain why you don't care too much about that. Sphere, sure. Yes, please. I wish for this Cauldron Complete. You got a Revoker? Show me that you have Revoker. That's where we're at, opponent. Show me that you have Revoker. Boy, I love that you think that's good for you. Three? Yup. I wonder if opponent is currently struggling with Thalia plus sphere resistance. They are. Gas. I have no reason to play the Savannah this next turn, so I don't intend on doing that. I'm just gonna put Cauldron into play and attack my opponent for 7. Cool. Am I? Oh, nope, that costs 2. Sick. Sport and Force of Vigors and oof. Alright. Ouch. Opponent did have their Evoker. They wastelanded me and then didn't realize that they couldn't cast... Oh, and Null Rod. Okay, okay. Alright. So, why not just cast the Revoker named the Stoneforge Mystic? Huh. I don't know. Weird. I gotta cut 6 cards. I want all these Force of Vigors. I don't think I want Chalice. Polly Pocket, thank you for the follow. This feels like gas. Wow, this, like, most of my deck feels good against my opponent. I don't know what to do. Rough. I'm actually gonna cut the Luminarch Aspirants. I could also cut Thalia here, but, well, I guess I'm on the draw, so Thalia is less good. An opponent's gonna probably play Spheres and crap against me. And then shave a once upon a time. Wax Emit. Stoneforge is probably how we win this game. If we win this game. I mean, Force of Vigor is how we win this game, but... Polly Pocket, I really appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. I mean, this feels pretty gas. This is a turn 1 Archon with a land that I don't necessarily have to tap. I'm gonna keep... Like, my life gets harder if opponent has Sphere into Null Rod, but I don't think that we're necessarily beating Sphere into Null Rod on the draw. Sure, yup. Sure in his Sphere, that sucks. Just gonna play Canopy and pass, I guess. Yikes. There's a Sphere, sure. Play a second canopy, say go. Golos, sure. Cast my mana crypt here. Say go. The devil just left, said he had to go. It's funny how it works that way when you just start telling him no. Just keep on keeping. Like, this isn't actually particularly scary. I have basics. If opponent shows me Crucible of Worlds, that becomes more of a problem. Oh! Travis Sweet! Yeah, I wondered who that was. Appreciated. That sucks. Tell Amber I said thank you, please, Travis. Yeah, we named Crypt, as we should. Bounce Golos. Yup. Yes, please. Basic planes.
Let me hear you, everybody. Let me hear you. Here we go.
I suppose? Strange, but alright. I'm not sure why you'd want that particular Golos in your graveyard instead of just in your hand. Oh, cool, thank you. Alright. So we gotta beat all of their garbage. Cast my Mox for 3 mana and lose. Opponent said, I feel the force of vigor, but I'm going for glory. Ooh, that's savage. It says replay Ghost Quarter me, I don't have more basics.
It has truly been an honor to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you so much.
We're out of basics. Yikes.
We're gonna end the set with one we want to dedicate to all the military, if anyone's in the house. Thank you guys so much. It's about what stands behind this beautiful flag to my right here.
Need to draw a land. Not a land. Yep. Can't make 4 mana. I can make a noble here, I guess. Puts me to 6. All right. So opponent kind of has me here. Right? This is match 1. I'm not crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. Opponent says that Bug and this deck are their 2 biggest fears. So, I mean, I think this deck has a lot of good things going for it. I don't necessarily know that this is one of the best spots to be in. What is Needle gonna name here? Oh, there's a... Like, I just need to draw a land. And even that doesn't really do it now because the opponent has all this stuff going on. Oh, they replay the Ghost Quarter. I'm just dead. Yep. Alright. So now I will bring back in my Thalias. And I kind of want to cut... What am I cutting here? I just kind of want to lock my opponent out as fast as possible. So I'm going to shave... I'm going to shave Aspirants, I think. I could cut sort of Feast and Famine and a Stone Forge and bring back in 2 Aspirants instead. That seems reasonable. Sure. I have to mull this. It's not fast enough. This is also not fast enough. Like, no mana hand. Like, the hand that had the Once Upon a Time, I could once into a land, but it still wasn't doing anything quickly. This is just like stone cold nothing. I'm gonna keep this. Put 2 cards down. One of them is gonna be this Archon. The other one is gonna be this Thalia. Cast without paying its mana cost. I'm gonna grab... Savannah, I suppose? Turn 1 oof. Yeah. You got it. Mox, sure. Soul Ring, sure. I mean, opponent having Karakas here is, like, definitely something. I'm gonna play this Mox, even though it doesn't do anything here. Yeah, we're just gonna keep bashing. Opponent said earlier that their first hand was so close, and I had to mulligan twice, and I said, yeah, my first 2 hands had 0 lands in them. Honorable Breach, Breach cast Tinker, Tinker for Lotus, Scroll for Brain Freeze. That's pretty gas. There's a Mox Ruby, there's a Tabernacle, sure. I will pay. I will assuredly pay. Yes. Well, that Force of Vigor will be good eventually. Like, a Wasteland here from opponent would be so bad for me. Like, it frees up these two Moxes, but these two Moxes aren't currently doing what I need them to. Yeah, yikes. Yep.
Get that guy out of here.
Incapable of paying for this oof. That's rough. Jam Archon? Oof. Revoker's in. Revoker probably names one of my Moxes. Emerald, sure. Yes, please. Yeah, like, I'm in a pretty rough shape until opponent shows me that they... Or until I find a Force of Vigor. Or a pitch card for Force of Vigor, rather. Yup. Nope. Yup. That is your one spell, opponent. Opponent's being really cool, like, I'm not gonna lie.
This is our last song. It's called Georgia Lawman.
Thank you guys so much.
So... yeah, like...
Let's get the crowd lit up. Let's see all these people. Look at all you.
Come on, everybody, get up!
You guys made this happen.
Definitely paying. Yes.
Thank you all so much. Let's all sing along.
Thank you.
Feel free to come up.
I'm gonna pitch my Noble. I'm gonna blow up their Revoker and their Soul Ring. Actually, first I'm gonna make sure they pay for their Soul Ring. This one, this one. Opponent says, what do you plan on forcing? It's a fair question, I suppose. Nice. I have no interest right now in... That's not what we want at all. So I'm going to cycle my Horizon Canopy in response to them trying to wasteland it. Yeah, PO for 1 feels atrocious. Like that one a lot. I have a sneaking suspicion opponent's about to null rod me. They just said they drew something brutal. Yep. That would indeed be brutal. I agree with you. Nope. Human? Human. I think most of my things are human. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, that was actually the one. We were supposed to name Stoneforge Mystic. Core for Stoneforge Mystic. There's a Saga, sure. Never mind. Opponent just had the needle too. His name's Stoneforge. I mean, I guess Wasteland is also viable. Saga doesn't feel like it's doing much. This is like 50-50 between naming Stoneforge and naming Wasteland, I suppose. I mean, Travis, the one being Time Walk feels pretty good. Outland Liberator. Okay, that isn't that is not what I would have named, but it's reasonable. I understand it.
Thank you all so much. Have a good night. We'll see you near Retreat Inn.
So bad. So, I don't know how to get this Saga, actually. There's a jet that doesn't do any... Do you have a Tolarian Academy? No. Oh, right. All of my spells cost infinite mana. Right. So now I'm looking for another Force of Vigor. I want to Force of Vigor their Null Rod, and probably their Needle? That sucks. That sucks a lot. What are we... Yeah. That's bad. Nothing I can do about that. Mox that I can't cast, sure. God, this hand was... I mean, this was a mull. Like, this was a pretty hard mull. Where were you? So opponent hasn't showed me strip yet. That's good. There's another Saga they still can't activate. Not a particular reason to play that at the moment. I'm 8 cards in hand. That's a particular reason to play that. I guess we can pitch one of these, just dump one of these Thalias. That feels okay. Yeah, the opponent's Null Rod is savage here. Like, so the weird problem I'm in is I need to find the basic planes. I need to set up a turn where it's, oh god, I still, like, that's still so far away. There's a third sphere. I think that's just it. I guess, like, opponent also isn't showing me any... Opponent says, I'm sorry, you seemed like a nice person, genuinely. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Neither one of us queued into this league to make friends. That can't be cast because Sphere says they cost more, not that I can't do the... yeah. So if I play my Cavern here, I just eat it. Like, it just dies immediately. Yeah. Like, sometimes the prison decks will stare at each other going, huh, what have we wrought here? Opponent will actually get to make a construct here. So, I'm just gonna pack it in. Like, that's... Alright. So were we anywhere... There's a wasteland, there's an oof. Yeah, we were miles away from doing anything meaningful. Alright. Okay, well that was rough. We took game 1 pretty quick, that was great. Game 2, opponent was on the play, and that really let them leverage stuff. Oh yeah, no, Travis, Op Agent mainboard in PO is actually pretty common. So, yeah, as far as the shop smash there, like, game 1 we took pretty quick because we had quick clock and our Thalia made it difficult for them to cast all of the spells they needed to be able to cast. So like they could cast exactly one of the 2 things they wanted to cast that turn, and they just didn't feel like it was good enough. Game 2, they were on the play and got to, like, quick Trinisphere into, you know, garbage time, just, like, Ghost Core to lock you out of the game. And then game 3, we rolled a 5, and the 5 was fine, but it just never quite came together. So, that's unfortunate. Hopefully, round 2 is a little better. Oh yeah, Travis, so the quote-unquote default PO list, not like unstable PO like Justin and the guys have been testing, is blue-black. You are playing Vamp, Demonic Tutor, and a mainboard Op Agent, and a bunch of Hull Breachers. Yep, they were basically designed to bully the mirror and like 8-cast and stuff like that. Alright. Opponent, please. Please, opponent, don't leave us. Please, opponent, don't. Uh-oh. Please, opponent, please. Please don't go. Oh, hell yeah. Cool. Alright. Opponent chooses to play first. Sure. Gas, I'm in. I'm gonna keep. This hand can do a lot of garbage very quickly. Cool. Alright. Skips their draw step. Roll the 6. Mox. Mox. Tutor, sure. Play on Ancestral. I could Force of Vigor them now, which makes it a lot more difficult for them to try to do anything in the future. And now they have 2 cards. I think I'm just gonna wait. Gas. Cavern of Souls. Name human. Mox. Black Lotus. Put this Thalia into play. Crack for white, white, white. Luminarch Aspirant. Two mana Soul Ring, sure. Narset is fine. You will get exactly one activation. Time Vault, sure.
The spirit becomes stronger because you have something to look forward to.
Play this. Play Mox. Go to combat. Let me put the counter on itself. Kill Narset. Attack you. So, opponent has shown me Time Vault. Game plan is to kind of wait for opponent to tap a little low and use my Thalia to bully them into not being able to interact with my Force of Vigor. Time Vault resolves. This one. Pitch this excavator. Nope. Nope. Opponent, you will breach no hulls this time. Attack you for 6. Oh, you don't want to time walk yourself to let me to untap Time Vault? You sure, opponent? Needle's fine. Reasonable. So by putting the counter on Luminarch Aspirant this turn, it means that both of my creatures cannot die to Hull Breacher. Called it. And we're also in a position where if opponent puts a key on the stack, I can kill their Time Vault in response. Key cost opponent 2 mana. That's also fine. I don't care about that. You must block both. I mean, yeah. This is all fine. I'm not really sure what one card you think gets you out of this. Or are we just trying to keep this from flipping? I guess this was a really conservative attack. I was just supposed to attack with Liberator. This is flipped. Oh, blow up time vault in response. Cool. Good talk. So maybe I don't need Force of Vigor? Question mark? Chalice feels like gas. Let's take out these Force of Vigors and see where we end up. Cut a Batter Skull. Cut a Feast and Famine. Cut down to 1 Stoneforge Mystic. And then just have all of the... I guess I can shave a Once Upon a Time in favor of a Force of Vigor. Why not? Shave 2. Could also Mind Break Trap. Trap doesn't feel unreasonable against this deck. Oh, Needle. I want a Needle for sure. Needle for Saga seems like what would be an important part of this matchup. This feels like yes. I want Cauldron for the clock, but I don't know if that's actually correct or not. I'm just gonna shave another once. Maybe shaving this once is wrong. Huh. I'm gonna mull that. Like, it's close. This one I'm gonna keep. I think we're gonna ship the Wasteland. Sick. Yep. Yep. Wasteland. Wasteland, yep. Sure. Nope, Force of Vigor. Show me Force, opponent. Huh. I think jamming this is just too big. Jam this. Go to combat. Opponent's game plan is they have to kill this collector roof. Their answers are push, dismember, eliminate. 2 of them kill it unconditionally. Human. I cannot be breached. 5U. Yep, that's what I expected. All my hot garbage is now uncounterable, other than exactly Stoneforge Mystic, but I think I'm okay with that. Core. Attack you for 4. Notably, drawn 3 of my 4 Caverns here. Yeah. So, like, that Ancestral is very good, but I think opponent's very far behind. I'm attacking for 5 next turn, which puts opponent to 3. One of opponent's outs to this card is Dismember, which is going to cost them 4. Oh, yup. It's just a basic. Or, I mean, it's a Savannah, but it's a land. Okay. Show me blocker, or you die. C. Yep. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cauldron. Show me Force of Will? Force of Negation? Either or? Proceed to killing you? Cool. Alright, well, that felt pretty good. 1-1 with Green-White Lumi. We lost to Shops, which was close. Game 3 mulled 5. The 5 was good, but didn't quite come around. And opponent ended up, when we were on 2 mocks, like, they had multiple spheres, and we had 2 moxes, and they resolved an L-Rod, and we just lost. Oh, they also had Tabby in play. Tabernacle was a big part of that equation as well. Again, thank you everyone for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. If you are new to the channel, my name is Adam. I am a member of Team Swish out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today I'm doing some Vintage Eternal Weekend testing because I still have no idea what I want to play next weekend. So we previously played a league with Bant Archon, where we went 1 and 4, and we're now playing a league with Green-White Luminarch Aspirant, or Green-White Lumi, or Green-White Wessel, or whatever you want to call it. Alright. Powder. Right, got it. 7 with powder, 7 with powder. That's a lot of things to powder away, friend. Cast this. Sword of Feast and Famine. Noble Hierarch. This chalice doesn't do anything, right? Yep, so we're just gonna leave the chalice in hand to pass. We're almost like, this is where I've seen some people playing this list with Endurance, and I wonder if we're supposed to be just playing Endurance here. This is pretty crazy in this matchup, though. Yeah. Quit. Always yield. Thalia? Sick. So we are actually reasonably set up. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yep. I want to draw a green card for this in the event of hollow one. Opponent has already gotten rid of a hollow one. There are no hollow ones in the cards they got rid of with Serum Powder. Yeah. Both of us staring at our chalices like these aren't great. Green card? So, I don't know that I want... They're not going to attack this turn. Play this chalice on one? That's going to shut off. Just how many therapies do they even have? They exile one therapy? Oh, they are going to attack this turn. I forgot about it, good. That's unfortunate. Could feasibly just die this turn. Creeping Chill. That's not great. I mean, mind you, this matchup gets like nigh infinitely better post board. Yup. Okay. I can no longer tap this canopy. I go to 1. Yeah. I think this is pretty well out of hand. Yup. All of your stuff happens. Yep. That'll do it. That can go. All these containment priests feel like they're great. Cage, needle. This also feels like gas. Most of their creatures can't deal with this like at all. So I think I kind of want that. I don't think Archon is very good. Opponent doesn't actually cast very many spells. Force of Vigors are okay, but probably not great. I'm gonna take those out. Then what? Like I said, Force of Vigors deal with exactly Hollow One, but we also have Outland Liberator that'll deal with a Hollow One if we need it to. That's not spectacular. Other things we want in our lives. Other things we don't want in our lives, I suppose. Badger Skull feels great. Huh. Move, Force, Arc. Guess I'll keep one Archon. And then... No, maybe I want the Stoneforge and the Cauldron. Just keep the Archon out. That's a faster clock. This is a rough one. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's once? Could be once. Could just be Outland Liberator. I think I'd rather have the one Outland Liberator and get rid of the one once. Yes, please. Huh. Hand is close to greatness. This deals with a... I have to deal with them doing garbage on early turn? Yikes. Ship Cauldron. Ship the Mox. If we get the Thalia out there, it makes it much harder for them to cast all their free forces and stuff like that, so then we can try to put a Noble into play and then a Crusader. Yeah. I guess that's just gonna happen. Sure. I don't think that Force of Vigor feels very good for our opponent. That sucks. Yup. Gonna lose this game because our opponent had a Force of Vigor and not a Force of Will. Unfortunate. I just didn't see a world in which, like, the stripline wasteland hands that didn't have any way to do anything would ever get there. It's amalgam. I can break their bridges here. How many do they have? 1? How many turn... Well, they're going to lose Icarid this turn. That's going to make... I just get to make the zombie now. I'll take 4. It's just, yeah, kind of gets worse from here, though. Well, that's a little better. Kind of want to see if we can get opponent to put more Bridge from Belows in their graveyard before we throw this away, but I don't know that we're going to have time anyway. That's double Creeping Chill. Yikes. Yep. That's so bad. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we're super dead. Big yikes. Alright, well, lost a Dredge. It's one of those conversations where it's like, maybe we're supposed to just play Endurance instead of Priest. And I've seen some people doing just that. So far though, this list actually, like, feels pretty reasonable. I would definitely swap to Endurance over Priest. Maybe even play some number main. Unclear. I do like the look of this. There's been a lot of mulliganing into the dirt just to find, like, functional hands, which is unfortunate, but I don't know that that's, like, necessarily always the case. Part of me wonders if that's just, you know, here I am doing the thing, getting unlucky. But we'll see. Oh, opponent is on standstill. I would love to play first. This is bad if this doesn't hit green source. I'm gonna try it, but I feel like this is really risky. Yeah. Take a basic. Know for a fact, know that our opponent is playing standstill, so, like, try to protect our lands. Standstill, sure. Caracas, go. Yup. Auto punish. No? Yikes. Ooh. Opponent just still hasn't wastelanded me. Interesting. Oh, that's so good for us. I think I'm gonna pitch a noble here. We're gonna wait each other out here for a little bit. Green source. Jam this Thalia. Hardcast Force of Will? Smells like Hardcast Force of Will. Blue, blue, 1, 2, yep. So, I guess this is why opponent hasn't been wastelanding us. Sure. Your walk resolves. Teferi also resolves. Feels bad, but like, it's happening. Yep. Plus, go... Oh, and a wasteland. Neat, cool, yep. That one's dead. Really looking for like mocks. Yeah, that's happening. Really looking for mocks here specifically, because if we can mocks and get this Remnant Excavator in, then we can replay a land from our graveyard and start trying to outpace the wasteland. Welcome back, Library of Alexandria. Cool. Cast Luminarch Aspirant? Yep. Opponent's just gonna bounce it. Like they have it on board. Draw a card, yep. Savage. Yes. That's good. Not gonna lie. Weird. I assuredly would have done that in a different order. I would have definitely used Teferi to draw that, get an extra card, and then use Jace to Fate Seal. I guess that also works. Don't feel like we're coming back from that. Because now Jace just Fate Seals into Oblivion and we're having a bad time. So, definitely Needle. Because I want to be able to shut off walkers. They have enough artifact mana that I would consider Collector Roof. I don't necessarily want Force of Vigor though. Chalice feels bad. Like, actively bad. And I think that's it. Yes, please. So, and this is the problem, right? Where a lot of people talk about some of these Noble Hierarch decks in Vintage, and they're like, oh, the deck isn't good. It's not good unless you have early acceleration. Gonna once. Like, if opponent wants to wasteland this on their first turn, and that's all they do, like, that's probably okay. No. Turn 1 library go. Yes. Do you have a Mox too? Probe. Sure. You do have a Mox, okay. Cast this Thalia. Okay. Like, this is gonna give opponent one more card with library? Or not? Okay, I'm gonna do it. Sure. Okay. So, game plan here being, I want to try to get this Outland Liberator to flip, so then we start taking them off of all their artifact mana. Okay. Sure. Black, white. Ending on Outland Liberator. Sure, that's fine. Archon? You have the Force Wheel for Archon? Feels like they might. They do. Pitching a Ponder, sure. So next turn, it's just going to be play Canopy, play Luminarch Aspirant. Oh, is this just another ending? Oh, Oh, sure. I mean, I'm gonna make you blink on this first, right? Because I just have this Caracas now. I'm not 100% sure why opponent let me untap there. So we can use this to break a standstill. Yep, that's the plan. I'm looking for Cavern of Souls. None of these is Cavern of Souls. What else is actively good here? I don't hate a Wasteland. Yay. Cavern? Play Thalia. Play Aspirant. Sure. So the game plan here is to kind of try to tempo our opponent off of their meaningful spells here. Snapcaster Mage. Target ending? Sure. Yup. Ending X is 0 with 2 colors. Yep. Pearl, sure. You also just have Plow for this Aspirant. You have a Tundra. Scroll, okay. So this... Scroll for Dig Through Time specifically. Sure. Strange, but I accept. Like, this Wasteland makes the dig better. That's good, but I don't need it right this second. I guess there was a reason to... Yep. There was a reason there to cycle Canopy before I played my Wasteland, but I'm trying to keep opponent off of Timeless Dragon. It's more difficult when they have this Mox Pearl, but I also don't know what I want to name with this Cavern yet. Like, there's a pretty reasonable density of humans, but I don't know that that's actually, like, a game-winning strategy right now. Just name human in the blind. Because, like, if I draw a Stoneforge Mystic, I would love for this to name Stoneforge, like, Core, and go fetch something like a Cauldra. I mean, even if not Cauldra, fetching a, sort of Feast and Famine would be pretty gas. That's a good one. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yes. Jace bounces Luminarch Aspirant. Yes. Sure. Crack this to draw a card. Yep, see, and there it is, right? Like, name core. Stoneforge Mystic. Always yield. Yes. Cauldra? Make 2 threats. Oh, okay. So, like, opponent is on the plan of Jace bouncing Stoneforge basically every turn until Jace dies. Yep. That's fine. Strip mine hits Cavern, sure. I think I'm going to take them off of their second white source here. Given that the dragon is a card that exists, I think that is meaningful. Jam Stoneforge again. Yes. Feast and Famine. So... Sorry, this... As I previously mentioned, my wife is out of town today, so I have someone delivering my groceries. So these obnoxious phone noises are because someone is shopping for my groceries. My apologies. My wife took the day to go and visit her family, who she hasn't seen in a while. So... Karn, yes. Oh, we've already time walked, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have Karn for Lattice. Yep. Needle. Sure. Needle on Stoneforge. Yeah, you got it. So then Karn ticks down again, gets Lattice, and if Jace bounces... Jace did not bounce Stoneforge Mystic. That's really strange. Wasteland, yes. So... Okay. Are you... Oh, okay. Name Archon, please. Archon of Emeria. I wish for to attack Karn the Great Creator.
Once or twice here and there in such a small town, I remember seeing you with him. Trying not to let it show that I know I didn't win. Maybe you'll see.
So what is the game plan, opponent? Sure. Lotus, yes.
You moved on, and I did too, and I may not be the best,
Search for why?
but I pray and see you're the best for me.
That's fine.
It was always you.
Now I just kill Karn. God damn it. Okay. So, I tried to keep my opponent off of playing the Timeless Dragon, which fed their dig through time, and they cast the Timeless Dragon anyway, after they had latticed me with the car. Rad. Cool. Currently 1-3 playing Green White Lumi. Again, I do feel like this deck is better than that. Some of this is definitely my sequencing. I also definitely feel like the Containment Priests in a sideboard at this point are really just supposed to be Endurance. I think Endurance is better in the situation, and also has text versus Doomsday, which I think is important. Because I think there are cards in our deck that aren't exactly great versus Doomsday. So, yeah. Our shops matchup was very close. So I think that is a matchup. Oh, opponent. Boo. Our shops matchup was very close, and I think that opponent drew very hot and in game 3, and we did not. Opponent ended up finding an Rod when we were on like 2 mocks, no land, board state with a Dork in play beating down. Yeah. Oh, and of course the Tabernacle was the big part of that, I'm sorry. So opponent had a Tabernacle in play, and we were paying for our 1 Dork in play with our Moxes. They wastelanded us, okay, we still have our Moxes to pay, and then Null Rod shows up and roots the fun. So, I think that matchup is closer. Green Man was on Tinker, I believe. And that matchup felt very good. This was our Dredge opponent that I think the matchup can be better than it is. And also we got a little unlucky. We mulled to 5 in game 2 and found like a reasonable hand, but we just didn't like. I don't think a mull to 4 does anything in that matchup, so that's unfortunate. And then I think Standstill is a deck designed to bully decks like us. I think they're one of the better fair decks in the format. So, yeah, I think that Standstill is just a matchup we were meant to lose. I think that there are ways the game play out that allow us to beat Standstill, but I don't know that they're super common or likely. This is... Apparently everyone took lunch or something. I think this is the longest we waited in queue all day, which is nice. For anybody who was concerned about vintage queue times before, they've been much better. Yeah, before the league reset, queue times were getting a little long and people were a little concerned. Now queue times have been mostly pretty reasonable. Even like, I know that some number of people are playing in the Legacy Eternal weekend. So even with people playing the Legacy Eternal weekend, things have been pretty reasonable. So, While we have a minute here, I will remind everyone that what we are currently listening to is a band called Poor Man's Poison, group I am personally quite fond of, and I reached out to them a little while ago, and they gave me the green light to listen to the music on stream, so you will probably hear it frequently, and I will be shouting them out for this as often as I can remember to do so. Also, I do post all of my League videos recapped on my YouTube channel, so that is down below in the Twitch panels underneath the video. Also, I will usually go live about 3 times a week, so if you've not already followed me on Twitch, please do so. You will get all of the alerts for when I go live. And then finally, we won the die roll. Yeah, seems fine. Seems like gas. This is gonna go on Cleric. It's gonna make this Remnant Excavator encounter. Yikes. It's still going on Cleric. We're gonna cast a Luminarch Aspirant into a Remnant Excavator and then try to Wasteland our opponent out of the game. That's the line. Sapphire, sure. Lavinia, deal. Rude. Rude. Cavern of Souls. Name Cleric. White, 1, Lumi. This feels like it could be probably Jeskai, if I'm being honest. Could also be Bant. Apologies for more. Zero chance. Savannah. Make green cleric mana. I feel like this card is about to do a lot of work. Mox is fine. Archon is also fine. Oh, right. That's how Archon works. I will clock you for 6. Take Archon out. This is all fine. I have shown you this wasteland. Understand what that means for you. Gas. That's fine. I literally couldn't care less about that. Play a Thalia. You got a... Yep, we have a force for that one. Pitching a Flusterstorm. Very reasonable choice for you to make, opponent. I'm gonna keep this excavator home for the hot minute. Noble's fine. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trade this off. So I can't be the draw card. Ah, yes, drawing more fast mana. Good, good, good. Very, very good. That's what we're looking for, friends. Yikes. Yep, 3. Okay. Archon. So you go. Yep. You get to clock, and I get to clock back. It'll be fine. I got a 9, you got a 9. I mean, if you're gonna cast one spell a turn, I suppose Time Walk is a pretty good one. This race now favors my opponent, of course. Sword Splashers. Not Sword Splashers. Crap. If opponent flashes in Hull Breacher here, I'm in pretty rough shape. Okay, I'm not getting Hull Breach. Good. Opponent clocks for 3 again. So now all my attacks are off. There's an argument that opponent just holds the Hull Breacher there because it's better this way. Core. I will name Core. Because this Cauldron Complete coming into play really changes the texture of this matchup by kind of a lot. Sick. As expected, I am required to block. It is contractually obligated. I mean, I suppose. This buys me another turn if the opponent doesn't have Force of Will. Which opponent could very well have, and they do. Cool. Good. Alright. I want to shut off Oko. Mirroring Crusader seems difficult for my opponent to deal with. And then what? What is not good here? Chalice Fields of questionable value. I can Chalice in 1 since they have cantrips. But I also have Thalia that's taxing their cantrips. I'm gonna cut this. I think I want to cut the Force of Vigors. Forgot that we don't actually have Plow. We're just trying to race people. Wild. Yeah. I guess this is kind of where we're at. I guess we have Strip Mine. So Strip Mine, Ramanap is still pretty hard lock. We have functionally a 4th version of Archon with this Thalia. This just shuts down most of their stuff. I mean, Cavern of Souls is the card we're looking for almost 100% of the time. Yeah, none of the rest of this feels very good. Cage, Priest, no. Yeah, I like what we've got. I would love to play first. Keep. Cast my once immediately. So then this is gonna name human. You can put a Thalia into play and then still attack. Sure. Yep. You're noble, you got it.
Now, good old Everett got to thinking about that boss man something fierce. He said that boss man, he's been slaving me away. Now, when that boss man, he told Everett to pull it
Take that away.
he said, you know, I don't think I'm feeling so good today.
Cast Liberator.
Good old Everett, he weren't cityfied now, never really paid it no mind. He said them city slickers move way too fast. Now, you can just go on about your business of really doing nothing at all. I'd rather be dirty sitting barefoot in the grass.
Why not? So that's kind of the beauty of it, right? Is that it, like, you can play some nonsense in Vintage sometimes and just get people because the metagame gets so inbred in Vintage, especially online. Lotus, sure. That is one spell. Sure. Oko? Yup. What is Oko elking here? Oh, Oko's making food. Sure. Lotus for white, white, white. Play Archon, yes.
The devil said, sit and have yourself a glass. Said, I know your anger right now, but the feeling will pass.
Gonna name human here.
When you're feeling down low, and when you finally forget your purpose, you'll be stumbling on down the side of the road. Oh, you know what?
So I'm not gonna do anything here. I'm gonna wait for Oko to plus on the food, and then I think I'm just gonna blow it up.
Whoa, 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 said I know. I used to walk down the very same road, and if I could, I'd give you some advice. See, he don't
That's
care
fine.
about you, all the good or the bad you do know. He wants your life, and that's the devil's price. Yeah, the devil's price.
Yep.
You said we can make it last all day. Yeah, we can make it last all night. When you try to go to sleep, I'll be in your ear.
Canopy.
Yeah, I'll be laughing at you the whole night through with your paranoid eyes all full of fear. Oh, you know it ain't good for you to keep
Liberator.
like you do. Time's running away and it's running fast. Oh, said I know. I used to walk down the very
Gas.
same road, and if I could, I'd give you some advice. See, he don't care about you, all the good or the bad you do know. He wants your life, and that's the devil's price. Yeah, the devil's price.
Trade of food, sure.
The devil just left, he said he had to go.
Thinking.
It's funny how it works that way when you just start telling them no. So just keep on keeping on down that way.
Aspirin.
I said you're almost done. You got the devil on the run, and you ain't got no price to pay. I said I know. I used to walk
Yep.
down the very same road, and I thank you kindly for taking my advice. See, he don't care about you, all the good or the bad you do. No, he can't take your life. You ain't paying the price.
Okay.
Yeah, the devil's price.
So opponent kind of saw the writing on the wall there. Yeah, when you walk there, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, so, okay. You're gonna make my, oh, you just swapped me. That's unfortunate. I did not think about opponent just stealing my Luminarch Aspirant. That's bad news, Bears. Taking 4 here, going to 9. I would love to draw basic planes. I'm still on I would love to draw basic planes. It's not basic planes, but it's pretty okay. Yes. This one? Apologies, that was my wife texting from her visit with her family to let me know that they went thrifting. Oh, that was just supposed to get Cauldra. Opponent knows that sort of feast and famine doesn't matter. Wild that you decided to 5, 6. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not having an answer to a flyer feels pretty rough. Okay. This one names the Oko. I think we're dead anyway, but make our opponent respect us not being dead. That's what that's where we're at.
So I'ma go my way and you can go about yours and do whatever with whatever you think is true. You see,
Because opponent currently knows 0 cards in it. Or, oh, opponent knows 1 card. Oh, they know 2. They know the Thalia too. They don't know what this 3rd card is.
nothing like me, and I sure ain't nothing like you. Well, it gets cold and you have to take the long way home, the long way home. And there ain't no straight going down my path, but there ain't no hand that's gonna make me fold. And now trouble's coming, going, they're gone for now. But I feel I'm coming back around.
7. Okay. Opponent just had the Swords to Plowshares. Rough. And that is 8 damage, and we are dead.
I got a feeling everything
Yikes.
went down here, and it sure went fast.
Womp womp. Well, there's a second 1-4 for today, so I think we're gonna call that an afternoon, everybody. That said, I think this deck is much better than that. I think that they're a combination of bad luck, me being unfamiliar and playing a little loose, and some changes that I think need to be made to the deck. Definitely are all in the mix here. So the exact 75th we played looks like this. I think that if it were me, I want all of these out, and then to board in these endurances. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is supposed to beat bug, right? Like that's the whole notion, is this beats bug. I don't know if that card is actively good enough to do that.
We all can talk about what are we here for, what are we doing.
I don't know that I like that card that well.
Yeah, everybody has highs and lows. No time for me.
This also feels really strange.
Busted up with the wife, come out here, starting over. Was feeling bad, didn't care for a number of years, just doing all the drugs I could do everything I could do wrong. I did.
Thinking.
It was illegal, immoral, or fattening, and I was an expert at
What do I want over Mirroring Crusader?
I went with a guy, met over at this motel room one night.
Could be.
I was trading him some drugs.
So some people in the Vintage Discord were discussing Spirit of the Labyrinth to play against PO and 8-cast and stuff like that,
Somebody else.
and that feels pretty good.
So we're sitting
Don't hate
there
that.
firing it up. He hooked me up one time a little too good. I went over and sat down, and all of a sudden, it's like legs start kicking,
Chalice.
heart start pounding.
I
knew
feel
I
like
OD'd.
if you're gonna play it at all, you kind of want it main.
And I went in there wanting to die. This really did. Then in the middle of all that, I just heard this voice just tells me.
Do I want the 4th Stoneforge back?
And just-
Cast Summoner's Hold Titan. I'm holding
hurt
Dig.
myself
Counter
so
Titan. Cast Dig. Hit Wasteland. Oof, and they can't. Yeah,
I wanted to
yeah.
die, didn't die.
That seems really good, Travis.
Be around.
Not gonna lie.
You know, gotta be here for something. Everything's on a wheel, man. It goes around. It's just part of the cycle.
Yeah, I'm gonna think of this list some more. So as it sits right now, I will be back Tuesday for a stream with fellow team member Greg Beamer. Greg and I, not sure what we'll be playing yet, but we'll be playing something. Definitely vintage, and kind of showing Greg how to operate the back end. Then on Wednesday, I will be back for a solo stream, and then on Saturday, I will be playing another solo league stream before Sunday I queue up for the Eternal Weekend event. Still undecided as to whether or not I want to stream the Eternal Weekend event. I will be recording one way or another, but whether or not I will be live is another question. If you have thoughts on that, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. So basically, two of my biggest concerns are, one, I want to be able to focus some more on the event and not worry so much about kind of the back end of things and managing the stream function. The other one is, of course, the ever-present notion of people stream sniping. I know it's happened at larger Magic Online events in the past, and so, yes, Travis, Fast Bond is a Magic card. So I am very interested in the notion of trying to. I want to stream the event, but I am concerned with what that means for the quality of content, because I will likely be focused quite a lot on what's going on, and I'm also worried about what happens if an opponent stumbles across the stream. I know that is not super likely, but it is possible. So, if you have thoughts about whether or not you would like to see me live stream Vintage Eternal Weekend, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or through Twitch Whispers or something. I would be curious as to hear your thoughts. And then, yeah, I will see you all again Tuesday. Have a good one, everybody. Cheers.